What's going on? Welcome to the video. It is Friday, July 2nd, and on Fridays they cut the grass and do all the landscaping in our complex here, so I don't even know if you can hear me all right or if you hear loud sounds in the background, but today's video is about how to lose body fat without also losing muscle mass at the same time. And just a heads up, the final tip number 4, is going to be the most important one. Now what I'm going to do is take you through my day and share with you why these 4 tips are so important for losing fat and keeping muscle at the same time. If you don't care about my day and you just want to see the 4 tips, I'll timestamp them in the description below. But if your primary fitness goals are around aesthetics and improving your actual physique, getting leaner and seeing more muscle definition, maybe seeing more tone in your body, this is exactly what you want, right? You want to lose body fat, reduce body fat, while keeping all the muscle mass that you have, maybe even building some. And this is why you see so commonly people who lose a lot of weight, their physique doesn't look any different from when they started if they're eating very restrictively or if they're only doing cardio to lose the weight, because they're not just losing body fat and keeping muscle, they're losing a combination of fat, muscle mass, and probably water weight as well. So these 4 tips that me and Nigel are going to give you are going to help you to target mainly body fat and keep the muscle mass that you've got. So let's get into it. All right, so I just did a shoulders and arms workout, and that brings me to tip number 1, which is to strength train at least 3 times per week. I'm going to show you a few clips from my workout while I explain why this tip is so important for losing body fat while maintaining muscle. So when it comes to strength training, obviously that's going to be a main component of building new muscle and getting stronger and, bigger muscles. However, the same goes for maintaining muscle. And if you're not working out certain muscle groups and if you're not actively strengthening them, there's going to be no reason for that muscle to stay around. And if you're not using it, you might lose it. That's what some people say. And this is very important for keeping muscle as you lose body fat through nutrition. Now, it's also beneficial for the actual fat loss process as well, because people who have a little bit more muscle mass on them are burning calories more efficiently over the course of a day than someone who has less muscle mass on them. So if you can add a little bit more muscle mass, then it's going to be way more beneficial for losing body fat. And also, strength training 3 times a week or more is going to really help with your metabolism and help with your ability to lose body fat and lose weight more efficiently. All right, so this is currently my go-to post-workout snack, and I have this every single time after my workout for at least the last couple months. So first off, I've got my shaker bottle here, I've got Nigel, and I've got my Transparent Labs whey protein. This is the cookies and cream version. This has 1 gram of fat, 4 grams of carbs, 27 grams of protein. So I'm gonna use 2 scoops. I'm gonna get myself, almost 60 grams of protein from this. Tastes relatively good. And here's a little trick. If you don't love protein shakes, look how much water I put in there, right? I put like a quarter of the bottle full of water. I just shake it up, and then there's just less to drink. I think protein shakes taste better with, way less water in there, unless, of course, it's way too thick. So adjust it to your liking. And if you'd like to check out this protein, you can check it out in the link in my bio. But here is the other part of my post-workout. You probably can't see that too well, but what this is Oikos Pro Greek yogurt. I'll put a picture on the screen of what it looks like. This is like a cheat code, this yogurt. 20 grams of protein in this little cup. Only 8 grams of carbs and 3 grams of fat. So if you don't like protein shakes, grab some of this stuff, Oikos Pro. Then I added some frozen fruit. I really like having it be frozen, and I added about 3 or 4 servings of honey on top of that. And that brings us to tip number 2, to make sure that you're losing body fat and maintaining the muscle you have, which is to make sure you're eating an adequate amount of protein in your diet. Right, Nigel? So this is going to give you the best possible chance to hold on to the muscle mass that you do have and maybe even build some additional muscle. So what exactly is adequate protein and how much is that for you? Now, a lot of people say that you should eat 1 gram of protein per pound that you weigh, but the truth is this is just way too general to apply for everyone. Like, for example, I weigh about 160 pounds and I eat about 200 grams of protein per day. And someone who's 300 pounds and has a lot of weight to lose Definitely shouldn't be eating 300 grams of protein per day. So here's what I recommend. You want to find your estimated lean body mass and multiply that by anywhere from 1.2 to 1.5. So let me explain how to do this. So I'm going to try to keep this as simple as possible. What you want to do is estimate your body fat percentage. So for me, I'm about 12% body fat, I would say, give or take. So what's left over from 100% if you take away 12%, and that's about 88%, right? So what I'm going to do is multiply 0.88 times my actual weight, which is 160. And when I do that, I get 140.8. So this is my estimated lean body mass. So now that we have my lean body mass, and you can do your own calculations, we want to multiply that by somewhere from 1.2 to 1.5. And I'm going to explain how to know in that range which number to use. So the leaner you are, the closer to 1.5 you're going to use. Now, if you're very overweight and you have a lot of weight to lose, the closer to 1.2 you're going to use. So if you're relatively lean, like myself, you may want to use 1.4 or 1.5, and if you're like, 20 or 30 pounds overweight, you may want to use 1.2 or 1.3. All right, so let's do it together. So I'm going to take my lean body mass, which is 140.8, and multiply that by 1.5 because I'm relatively lean. I'd say I'm leaner than most men. And what I get from that is 211.2. And that's actually very close to what I'm actually eating for protein. I'm eating about 200 grams of protein per day. And if that was somewhat confusing to you, just know that that's okay. And that is, in my opinion, one of the most accurate ways to calculate how much protein you should be eating. And if you don't want to worry about all that, then just apply below for my Modern Man program because I take care of all that for them. So I'm entering my daily weight and my macros and my steps and all this data in my daily tracker for my coach, Justin. And right now I'm in the middle of a 6-week mini cut. I'm taking a little bit of a break from my lean bulk that you may have seen me documenting in past videos. And I'm just looking to lose a little bit of extra body fat, get a little bit more shredded for the summertime. I'm aiming to lose about half a pound to a full pound per week for this mini cut. And so far, I've been successfully doing that. I'm down about 3 pounds or so in the first 3 weeks, and I'm feeling good. I'm already noticing some more definition in my core. I'm noticing some more vascularity when I'm training. It's going pretty well. And that brings me to tip number 3, which is to aim to lose anywhere from half a pound, maybe up to 2 pounds per week, or about 1% of your body weight. And the reason for that is because losing at this rate is going to give you the best possible chance that it's mainly body fat coming off of you instead of water weight or muscle mass. But the truth is that losing more than 1 or 2 pounds of pure body fat per week is incredibly hard to do. Unless you're like very overweight or you're obese or maybe well over 300 pounds, you're not going to be able to easily lose more than 2 pounds of fat per week. That's why if you see the scale go down 5 or 10 or 15 pounds in a week or two, that's not necessarily a good thing if you care about your physique and how you actually look, not just about the scale weight. And if you notice, all over Instagram and Facebook, I share wins of my clients and I share testimonials from them. But what I don't share is people who lost 10 pounds in a week or 20 pounds in just a couple weeks, because that's not what we do here. We focus on losing body fat and actually improving your physique. So to make sure that you're losing in this rate, 0.5 pounds up to 2 pounds per week, or 1% of your total body weight, what you should do is log your weight daily, exactly like I'm doing and like I have my clients do. And that way you can look at what your weekly average weight is for the last 7 days. And what you should do is compare that weekly average to the previous week's weekly average. And then you'd ideally like to see the weight trending down by 0.5 all the way up to 2.0. And if it is, then good, you're in the clear. If it's not, then you may need to make an adjustment to your nutrition. All right, so this is my lunch for today, and this is actually a meal that I have automated, which basically means I have this meal or some version of this meal every single day. And the reason for that is because it tastes great. I never get sick of it. It currently fits into my macros really easily, and it really only takes 5 to 10 minutes to prepare. So what I've got here, I've got some scrambled eggs, 2 whole eggs with, I put a slice of ham in there. I put a little bit of low-fat cheese, and over here, I got egg whites only. I use the egg white liquid. put a slice of ham in there as well, some low-fat cheese, and then I've got 2 whole grain pieces of toast with low-fat butter. This butter I use is actually half the amount of calories as normal butter is. And like I said, sometimes I'll make this in different versions. Like sometimes I'll make a sandwich out of this instead of like scrambled eggs and toast. Sometimes I'll make like an omelet version, so I, diversify it when I'm feeling like I want to. But seriously, guys, I love this meal so much I could eat it in like 5 seconds. Wow, you see that? I ate the whole thing. But that brings me to tip number 4, and the most important one that I would argue, which is to eat in a moderate calorie deficit of 200 to 500 calories. So this is gonna help you effectively lose body fat while not being overly restrictive with how much food you're eating and putting you at a higher risk of losing muscle mass. So I guess the next question is, how do I know what my maintenance calories are so that I can eat between 200 and 500 calories below that? I'm gonna tell you. In fact, I'm gonna make it even a little bit easier than just verbally telling you. I'm gonna give you a document that gives you, I think it's only 3 or 4 steps on how to find your estimated maintenance calories, because nobody knows for a fact what the exact number is, but I'm gonna show you exactly how to do it in the document down below in the description, so you can check that out if you wanna calculate your own maintenance calories. Now keep in mind, these few steps that I'm going to ask you to do is a little bit more work than, say, just opening up a free calorie calculator on the internet somewhere, but I'm confident in saying this is one of the most accurate ways to actually pinpoint what your maintenance calories are. Now, once you realize what your maintenance calories are and decide to eat between 200 and 500 calories below that, it may actually be a higher amount of food than you were expecting, and that's pretty much what always happens because so many people fall into the habit of, when they're trying to lose weight or get leaner, just eating really small amounts of food. They're eating 1,000 calories or 1,200 calories or 1,300 or 1,400 calories. And I don't care who you are. If you're an adult, whether you're a male or a female who is exercising weekly, chances are you should be eating more than 12 or 13 or 1,400 calories. Especially if you're an adult male who's working out consistently, right? So many of my clients are men because of my Modern Man program, and it's an absurd amount of guys who have told me over the years that they're trying to eat 1,000 calories or 1,200 or 1,400 calories to lose weight fast, when that's not what's going to help you look your best, right? You cannot be eating 1,000 or 1,200 calories if you care about building a nice physique and looking good in the mirror and filling out your clothes and having definition and tone and actually sustaining it. All right, man. There you have it. Those are my top 4 tips to lose body fat without also losing muscle. And hey, if you made it to the end of the video, I really appreciate you for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video or if you picked up something from it. I would really appreciate it. And make sure you subscribe to my channel if you want to get notified when I make more videos just like this every single week. And I'll see you on the next one.